Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news, so let's talk about a story that's been buzzing around the league, one that might just reshape how the NFC North looks moving forward. It involves none other than Derrick Brown, the talented defensive tackle from the Carolina Panthers. Now you might be asking yourself, what's the big deal? Well, hold tight, because this could be a game changer for the Lions, a move that could bolster our defensive line and really set us up to dominate the division in the coming years. Rumors are swirling that the Panthers, currently in the middle of a rebuild on defense after a mixed start at 6-6, are considering trading Derrick Brown to the Lions in exchange for a third-round pick in the 2026 draft. And let me tell you, if this deal goes through, it's going to be a massive boost for Detroit's defense. Now the Panthers are in a tricky spot right now. They're rebuilding and trying to figure out their future, especially on defense where they've allowed 4 points per game. They're also working with a limited cap space, around $18 million, which they're eager to free up to sign or extend players, especially at the linebacker and offensive line positions. Derrick Brown, on the other hand, is a young, explosive interior disruptor. He's been a cornerstone for Carolina's defensive front, showing flashes of dominance that can shake up any offensive line. Over his career, Brown has accumulated 248 tackles and 15.5 sacks, with a PFF grade of 88.9, which is pretty solid for a player still in his prime. In the 2025 season, he played 12 games, recording 20 solo tackles, 23 assists, and 43 combined tackles, along with 3 sacks and 15.5 yards allowed. His EPA per snap was plus 0.14, pressure rate around 12%, and his YAC run average was 40 yards per run, all without any significant injuries. The Panthers are also allowing 269 points per game, which clearly indicates they need to bolster their offensive line and pass rush. They've ceded 32 sacks this season, and their offense is struggling to protect the quarterback, especially against aggressive defenses. They're also cautious about their quarterback situation. They're not fully sold on Bryce Young just yet, with an EPA of minus 0.9 per pass, indicating some hesitation about his development. Carolina's cap situation and their desire to extend rookie contracts mean they're open to moving assets, especially if they can get draft capital that will help them build for the future. For Detroit, acquiring Derrick Brown would be a huge step forward on the defensive front. Current stats show that our defensive line is already pretty solid, but adding a player of Brown's caliber would elevate us to a whole new level. The Lions' defensive line has been decent this season, allowing about 22.1 points per game and giving up 120 rushing yards per game. But with Brown's addition, projections show that Detroit's pass rush could explode, with a duo of Brown and McNeil potentially racking up over 12 sacks combined. That's a serious threat to quarterbacks, and it would increase pressure by roughly 18%, pushing our current pressure rate from around 33% to well over 50%. Imagine what that would do to opposing offenses, especially in the NFC North, where teams like the Packers and Vikings rely heavily on their rushing attacks. And it's not just about improving the pass rush. Brown's presence would make a tangible difference in run defense, boosting efficiency by about 22%. Opponents would see their rushing yards per attempt drop from around 4.1 to about 3.3 yards, which is a huge improvement. It's a similar impact to what the Bears experienced with Sweat in 2025, where their run defense saw a massive upgrade. For us Lions fans, that means facing fewer big plays on the ground and more opportunities for our defense to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. Brown's style of play echoes some of the best interior defenders in the league. He's disruptive, relentless, and able to collapse pockets consistently. His ability to clog running lanes and pressure the quarterback from the inside makes him a perfect fit for our scheme. With Jared Goff leading the offense, which has been quietly impressive this year with an EPA of plus 0.12 per pass, Detroit's offense is already looking sharp. But a strong defense can make all the difference in tight games, especially when trying to close out the season strong and make a deep playoff run. Looking ahead, if this trade happens, the impact on the Super Bowl odds would be significant. Current betting lines have Detroit at plus 1,200, but with Brown in the fold, those odds could plummet to around plus 600 or even better. The NFC as a whole would feel the ripple effects, with the division becoming even more competitive. The Lions could see their chances of clinching the division increase, especially against teams that still struggle to contain the run or generate pressure on the quarterback. A defense led by Brown, McNeil, and the rest of our front seven would make us a nightmare for any offense, turning Ford Field into an even more intimidating place for opponents. Of course, all of this hinges on how the trade negotiations unfold. The Panthers are reportedly interested in freeing up cap space and acquiring draft picks that will help them rebuild. They're also evaluating their options with Bryce Young, trying to determine if he can develop into the franchise quarterback they envisioned. For the Lions, acquiring Brown would mean adding a proven interior disruptor and a player who could become a cornerstone of our defense for years to come. It's reminiscent of some of the game-changing trades we've seen in recent history, like Aaron Donald's move to the Rams, which transformed their defense and set them on a Super Bowl path. This potential move isn't just about one player, though. It signals a shift in how the Lions are building their team, focused on elite talent on the defensive line to complement an already potent offense. With Goff leading the charge and the defense stepping up, Detroit could be looking at a season where they not only contend for the NFC North title but also push deep into the playoffs. The addition of Derek Brown would send a clear message to the rest of the league. Detroit is here to win, and we're ready to make a serious run for that Super Bowl trophy. As fans, we should be excited about the possibilities. This kind of move shows that the Lions aren't content with just being good, they want to be great. The front office has been aggressive in recent years, and bringing in a player like Brown would be a statement. It's about building a team that can withstand the best defenses in the league, that can dominate at the line of scrimmage, and that can impose our will on anyone who steps onto Ford Field. You can imagine the roar from the crowd if this trade goes down. The energy in the stadium, the confidence in our defense, and the belief that we're on the cusp of something special. It's exciting to think about how this could elevate our entire team, making us a true contender in the NFC and beyond. The Lions have been climbing the ranks, and this move could be the final piece to unlock that next level of dominance. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Derek Brown is the missing piece we need to take that next step? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like this on the horizon, we're all in for an incredible ride.